everybody, and welcome back. This is Juliana hosting my show, Is This Actually Healthy? This show is designed to help you, the audience, make practical choices with your eating. And it's designed to help you ask the right questions that you need to know to dissect your foods, become aware of the choices you make, and look for gaps where you can improve. I'm here to make you your own nutritional consultant. Today we're going to be tackling two very important questions, and those are, can I tell if something is healthy by looking at the food packaging? And also, what kinds of things should I look out for on food labels to know if I'm being misled? Sometimes we think we are selecting foods that are healthy for us, but they actually aren't. We're only led to believe that under false pretenses. This is an important concept for you to recognize if you are new to the healthy eating campaign, and you must be mindful of it on every shopping quest. Even people who have been food conscious for a long time can get tripped up by these marketing techniques that companies use to sell their products, especially products that might not be as healthy as they seem. And for people like me who routinely add new foods to their grocery carts, it's something that I always have to be mindful of as well, and I have to become a skeptical consumer. The way that foods are presented to you and your perceptions of these products involve a variety of things. And they might be things that you don't even think about, such as, where is the item positioned in the grocery store? Is it on the bottom or the top shelf? You might not think that tactics like this make a difference, but companies sure do. And even more importantly, you have to recognize what is on the product and what is being advertised. What is on the front of the label? How is the packaging designed? And what information is excluded? Now, if all this sounds overwhelming, then don't be alarmed. I'm here to provide you with practical tips that I use every day to gauge if a food is advertising itself in the right way to me, or if I'm being misled. With a little knowledge, you can see a food for what it really is and not what the company wants you to think that it is. Here I'll be showing you a series of examples for how foods are marketed to seem healthier than they actually are. All of these I found the last time I went shopping at my local supermarket. Now in the first example, we can see the case of Yoo-hoo. This is a chocolate sugar bomb of a drink, but we can see on the label that it's marketed to have high amounts of vitamin C and calcium, and also that it's 99% fat-free. Is that supposed to sell you into thinking that this is a healthy drink? No matter which way you look at it, it's still a chocolate sugar beverage with 23 grams of added sugars per serving. Now, if you're really concerned about consuming more vitamin D and calcium, you can definitely get this elsewhere. Let's try another one, and this one might not be as obvious to you. This is an advertisement or the box label for some fruit snacks. And they're made with real fruit juice, as you can see on the label, and they're a great source of vitamin C. However, if you look at the small print, you can see that these fruit snacks are only about 8% fruit juice concentrate. So where does the rest of the calorie content come from? You guessed it, refined sugars. Now, if you are going to throw this in your kid's lunchbox, you might want to think again, because this isn't as healthy as it seems. This third example is going to be the trickiest one for many of you. And this is because when we look at this box, we see fruit and nut bars. Fruits and nuts. How could that be bad? On the package, you can clearly see the nuts and you can see the fruit, so it might seem minimally processed and a healthier option for you. And you can also see on the label that it has no high fructose corn syrup, which many products like to brag about on the front of their packages. However, if we have a closer look at the nutritional content, it has virtually no protein, which you'd think it would have more given it's a nut bar, and also has pretty much 0% daily value of other essential micronutrients like vitamin C, D, and iron. Another thing about it is that although it says that it had no high fructose corn syrup, that does not mean that the company can't replace this with regular corn syrup or some other type of refined sugars, which are the second and third most common ingredients in this bar. Now, if you really want a healthier option, why not just eat the nuts and the dried fruit separately and cut out all this additional garbage? Another tendency that we have is to associate things as being healthy just by the name of it or the nature of the product. If we think that something is more natural and it sounds healthier to us, and then we just make that assumption. But this can be very dangerous to a healthy, balanced diet. One example I've heard numerous times in my life is when someone tells me that they have taken a healthier step in their lives by cutting out soda, and that they're switching to healthier alternatives like tea. This sounds like a pretty great switch until they show me what kinds of teas they've replaced the soda with. For example, this pure leaf herbal tea, it looks healthy because it's a tea. But however, you turn it over and look, and it's very competitive with the soda as far as its added sugar content and its calories. So just because this is an herbal tea, don't assume that it's better for you. Now, let's not forget about fruit juice either. This essentially seems healthy because it's liquid fruit. However, once again, this doesn't mean that the juice hasn't been altered in some way. If we look at this example that I picked up, this is an ocean spray juice. But in the small print, you can see that it only contains 12% juice. The packaging sure does look deceiving though, doesn't it? I could spend hours giving you examples of these types of labeling tricks, but I think the best thing for you to do now is to go to your grocery store and start picking up products. Look at them with a new skeptical eye and try to see through the ruse. If your previous conceptions on a food is blinding you to what it really is, then you need to learn to see past it. Now, if you can find good examples of these labeling tactics that you think other viewers would benefit from, don't forget to share them in the comments below. If you found the content of today's episode interesting, then don't forget to tune in to future episodes of Is This Actually Healthy? And please subscribe to my channel. If you know of anyone in your life who can benefit from this information, then send them my way. And I will see you again soon in a future episode. Ciao, ciao!